Hey YouTubers, morning, I love it. Guys, we have a video today for everybody. Usually in my videos they're for a specific small narrow niche of people. Today this video is for everybody. If you've ever been sick in the middle of the night and you feel like you're going to die, or even if you're even worse in the middle of the day and you're laying in bed and you're feeling really bad, the doctors, they give you pills, ointments, salves, you have different things, but there are things you can be proactive and do yourself. Over the years, I've acquired different things, hacks, so to speak, of things that help me when I'm sick in bed. And several of them I've never heard anybody talk about. Um, if you watch to the end of this video, you're just going to get to the end. The most important part of the video is going to be the first three things I talked about. The rest of the ideas are also important, but I think they've been talked about before. Also, if you subscribe to my channel, I have a variety channel. More than likely, in a few weeks, you'll see something completely different. And if you don't like different things, you're not going to be happy, so don't subscribe. If you like variety channels, you hit the jackpot. Let's get started. I wasn't feeling good. I had root canal, emergency root canal last Friday. And then my tongue got cut from the pieces of plastic they put over it. And then last night, I just had bad sore throat and my tongue was hurting and I was having other problems and I felt really bad and it was hard for me to get back to sleep. So what I did is I have certain things I do to help me when I'm feeling sick at night or in the daytime if I have a flu or a cold or virus or whatever, or injury. So let's talk about them. By the way, if I talk funny, I talk funny anyway, but I still have a little bit of pain in my mouth. So first three things is if I'm sick at night in bed or in the daytime, but usually it happens that aren't we always, the worst is at night, we're waiting for the dawn. And this is the only thing I recommend you buy. Everything else is something you can do yourself. You don't need to buy anything. But if you have a radio, or I like this MP3 player, it's got over 1,200 songs. What I do is several things. One is I will play the musical selection one after another, just short burst of 5 seconds until I can recognize a tune, and then I'll do the next one. And what that does is if I'm sick, it's rewiring my mind to get it off of my illness or any other things I'm having going on in my head. Because each time you play a song, it brings back a memory of when you first heard it, where you were, what you were doing, a time in your life. Also, the song itself is manipulative. It has beat, a rhythm, and so on. The singer, the musicians. So you're having different emotions and memories brought that's competing with your illness. So, like I said, I have downloaded maybe 1,500 songs on here, so I can just go through one at a time. And there's like a short burst of music, another song, another song, and another song, and I can just do this for a couple of hours. While I'm doing that, it's slowly beating away at my illness, you know, and then I start doing a self massage. If you have somebody with you that can do massage, excellent. Sometimes people who aren't very good at massage can actually, they mean well, but they sometimes hurt. Where when you're doing it yourself, let's say if you're doing any type of massage or exercise and you're ill, if it's hurting, don't stop. But if it's not hurting, when you're listening to the music and you're rewiring your brain, you start massaging every single part of your body, from the very tips of your fingers down to the tips of your toes, your head, your ears, you can the roof of your mouth, any part of your body, to get a sensation that is competing with the illness. And it's doing other things too, but do it all over and while you're listening to the music. Now, as you've been doing this, you're going to hit a song that you don't want to play for 15 seconds or 5 seconds. You want to play, let it go all the way through. So now you've identified like a groove, a type of music that you want to get into. So as those come up, you can play them for a long period of time. All the while you're doing, it helps be flexible, but it also helps if someone else is sleeping with you in bed, that you sleep on the couch or something, because you're going to be moving around. And as much as you can, you may have an illness where you can't move around, but whatever you can do, you want to do it, and try to massage every single part of your body. And then when you've done the front, lie on your side and do your side as much as you can. And go, like I said, if you can, get down to the bottom soles of your feet, put one leg over your knee, and get your ankles, every part of your body, while you're listening to the music. So you're getting that sensation of uh, a feel while you're listening to the music, and it's getting through your mind. Then, as time goes by, you should start to feel a separation between your illness feelings, like, and now you've relaxed a bit, because when you start massaging, you're going to find parts of your body that you just touch them, and you quiver because they were so tense, because you've been just you got a pain, and there's things in your head, and you're just tensed up. When you start the massaging, you're going to get a spot to when you're just gonna just quiver like that, and you might even go like a groan, like, oh. It just releases so much, I don't want to say negative energy, but you're doing something to your body that really feels good, and it's helping all parts of your body to help you get better. So once you got your foot in the door, now if you can, because you may have injuries where you can't move much, but if you can move much, you want to do two types of exercises while you're in bed. One is a very slow motion, just range of motion. Like, if you can move your arm and this part, just while you're lying on your back, just go as far as you can while you're still listening to the music, and then just bring it back. And then sometimes you can do it in time with the music. Then do the other arm, and then just above your head, and then and then different parts of your body really slow. That's the key. You want to stretch it as far as it will go without hurting. Also, if you hear a grinding noise where something is being, like a joint, socket is making noise, then change. Like, if you're doing something like this and if you hear a grinding noise, then do something like that and see if you hear the grinding noise. You don't want to hurt anything. You don't want to wear anything out. You don't want to do anything unless you get permission from your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional. So you want to get all information of what you should do. This is what I do. But I try to exercise while I'm in bed, and I'll go through all parts of my body as slow as I can. Do range of motion as far as you can, as slow as you can. Then the second thing you can do, by now you should start to feel relaxed. Now you want to get more relaxed, is tense part of your body, like your toes, your feet, really hard, and then let them go. Then try to tense your legs and your hips and all the way up to your body. And then by then you should feel better. You should feel more relaxed and more comfortable. Also, when you're giving yourself massage, there's parts of your body, like on your abdomen and your lower abdomen, you don't want to ever feel pain, or do something that your doctor doesn't says you shouldn't do. You want to, sometimes you can, if you have like a lot of gas or bloating, or there's problems with your stomach or your intestines, you can sometimes just push and feel that it feels good. You feel like something is positive is happening, and it just, also, if you're having uh, I don't want to say chest pains, but sometimes it helps to just do your chest. And I'm a big fan of, on specifically the legs and the arms, starting like with the arms from the shoulder all the way down. Just hold your hand and squeeze, and just do this as many times as you can, and just go all the way down to your fingertips. And with your legs, both hands all the way down to your feet, and just pushing along. You're like, I'm kind of thinking it's helping to push the lymph system, getting it activated in the blood vessels and stuff, but it seems to be good for the circulation. And by pushing your hands over such a broad area of skin, it just gives a sensation to your body that's very pleasant, and I think health giving. Um, it's something that really helps to keep the mind off of a pain, or procedures that might be coming up, or different things that's going on medically that you have going on in your health. So those three things specifically, with the music and the exercise and the stretching. And sometimes we're bedridden, we're in the hospital and stuff, you have tubes and stuff in your arm. The nurses aren't going to like to see you doing exercise, so you got to be careful. And you also don't want to rip anything out. But if you can use the other arm and other parts of your body, if you're just laying in bed, if you lay in bed, if you're a healthy person, 3 days, when you get out of that bed, you're not going to be healthy. So when you're in bed, it's really good, really slow motion, no pain, no noises, and just do it really as slow as you can, and try to feel your muscles, try to feel what's happening, get in touch with your body, what's going on when you're moving, that range of motion, your parts of your body. So those three things, you can get your mind off of your illness, and you can take a vacation away from the pain just a little bit. It's not going to be a cure. It's just going to be something to give you an edge that's going to help. You might be taking other pills that's helpful, pain medication, but this is going to help you feel better when you're sick in bed. Now, what are some of the other things? If you have a stomach ache or something, or a pain, a part of your body, you can use a water bottle. Uh, put hot water or cold. You could freeze it depending on what type of injury you have or pain. And specifically, like if you're up north, someplace that's cold, a water bottle, sometimes it's comforting to have if you have a part of your body that's hurting. A hot water bottle. If you live someplace where you can do it, if you're sick and you're ambulatory, you can get up out of bed. Sometimes at night, if you're able to, take a walk outside, um, and just getting away from the house and opening the door and going outside and seeing the stars and the trees and having a little breeze on your face and taking deep breaths. It just kind of helps you leave that situation where you were in, being sick. I found that going for a walk, if you can, because sometimes you're in so much pain or you have an injury where you can't do any walking, but if you're having some issues like a flu or a cold or something, you don't want to exert yourself. You want to, but I just find sometimes getting out of the house, if you can, maybe you're in a wheelchair, if you can get outside, if it's nighttime, just everything going on, it's just outside, you're reconnected with the real world instead of the world of this being sick. If you're living with someone and you're in bed with them and you're trying to do things, you're going to be waking them up. And if they're snoring or moving around, you're just getting back to sleep, but now they woke you up. It might be better to sleep in the couch. Or some injuries or illnesses, it's better if you can to sleep in a chair, like a lazy boy, where you're elevated, depending on your doctor's recommendations. So sometimes the bed isn't the best place for you. A shower or a bath is helpful sometimes. The warm, moist air from the hot shower, or the bath. Sometimes you could put magnesium in the bath water, and magnesium. Most people they're lacking in magnesium. You can find that helps relax a person. If you're like me, and I think there's a lot of people like me, you're reluctant to take different medications or pain medications. Sometimes you need to take pain medications or other medications, and they could be very helpful. Maybe you just have an upset stomach, and if you would go take a Tums or something, upon advice of your medical professional, you, I don't encourage anybody to take any medication or pills or ointments, but sometimes just trying to tough it out and not take anything, where that some medications are a blessing, they're a freaking miracle. So you you know what I'm saying. There's sometimes it's probably good to take stuff early if you have it available, so you don't wear yourself out from pain and so on. Um, Affirmations are good. I I do them every day when I bounce. One of my affirmations is I don't get sick, and if I do, I get well almost immediately. Does that help? I have no idea. But what if it only helps like 0.2%? Um, what did I lose from doing that? So sometimes when I'm sick, I tell myself, well, you know what? I don't get sick. And if I do, I get well immediately. It's a mindset. Uh, you should avail yourself maybe of different tonics or remedies. Uh, and there's different things I take that I have. I have friends and relatives. They have their own home remedies and nostrums, and everybody has something. Family traditions. You should, if they're available. Sometimes we think, why didn't I take this or why didn't I do that? Um, so you want to avail yourself of your resources. Prayer. I don't know any religion that doesn't have prayer as part of their religion. So it's, once again, what do you have to lose? Uh, Phone call. If you're, especially at nighttime, alone, and sometimes just talking to another person can calm you down and bring you at a different level almost immediately. And there's, you probably don't want to call people at the middle of the night when you just have a stomach ache. But if you're worried about something, a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but I know there's some insurance companies have a 24-hour nurse number you can call if there's a problem. And sometimes just talking to another human being, a medical professional that can assure you of what your options are. So it's good to be able to talk to another human being when you're sick. Um, it's it's a resource that's out there that a lot of people aren't aware of. And like I said, if you have any friends or family members that you can call in the middle of the night that won't make them upset, I think if you don't abuse the calling them, I think most people would kind of feel good that you felt that they were that much of a friend or a loved family member that you would call them 3:30 in the morning. They might not like it, but I think they would also like the fact that you felt that they could depend on you. It's a good. It's also a good thing to feel needed. Acupressure, you could learn different acupressure things. I don't hardly ever get headache. It's a blessing. But sometimes when I do, I use different pressure points, and that's helpful. If you're home and sick in bed, if you know them, you could apply them, and sometimes that's helpful. If you play a musical instrument, I don't play a musical instrument, but I do sometimes abuse a musical instrument. And if I'm sick, it just listening and then doing it kind of helps take the edge off of different problems that are going on pain wise. So that can be helpful. Uh, Reading, television, computers, television. A lot of people complain about how bad television is. It is bad, but the fact that you want to use television sometimes because it's, you can turn it on and it just sort of, it's this sponge that helps um, absorb your mind, and you can help it to uh, reduce your pain and your thoughts about problems you're having with your illnesses. If you paint or you draw, you're right. I remember um, when my mom was sick and she had Alzheimer's, and I would give her the coloring books and stuff, and I'd color with her, and that always calmed her down when nothing else would ever calm her down. So I've used it myself at night, where I take the coloring book out and I would just draw, and it was very helpful to reduce pain. Looking at photographs of family members, if people can, you want, nobody's going to visit you 3:30 in the morning at night, but during the day, if you're not well, having people visit that care about you and are sympathetic, that is huge. That is a big thing, because we're all human. We all need other people. Um, there are some studies indicating that laughter, watching movies, videos, and different things that elevate the mood is very good for your health when you're ill. Hydration. A lot of people, when they're ill, one thing that exacerbates their problem is their lack of water. Once again, you want to do this. If your doctor or medical professional says you need to have more water in you, sometimes when you're ill and you're drinking water, it makes you sick to your stomach. What I found is if you need water and you're told to drink water, more water, and you find you can't do it, is just get you a straw and take the smallest sip you can. If you're at a point where if water's going to make you throw up, just take the tiniest sip you can with a straw. Don't even look at the water. Just put the straw in your mouth and then wait a few minutes. Then take another tiny sip. And little by little, you're going to start getting more and more liquid in you. And it's something that you can help hydrate when you don't think it's possible. Whenever I go to the hospital, which isn't often, but the few times I have, I can't sleep. And I found that one thing that helps is the eye mask, sleep mask, to block out all light. And I haven't found one or used one yet, but if I understand they have earmuffs that play a white noise that blocks out other sounds. Because if I'm someplace like a hospital, I can't sleep because all the people talking. And uh, if you can get something to block out the sound, you're going to be able to sleep, and then you're going to be able to be in sick in your bed a lot easier if you've got a few hours of sleep in you. Okay, guys, to leave anything out, I don't think so. Except uh, this isn't medical advice. You should always follow the advice of your medical professional, your doctor. If you have symptoms of something serious, obviously you don't want to treat it yourself. This is just if you know what's going on, but you're in pain and you're in bed and you're sick and you need something to help you get better other than the things that have been given you. So this is just to help alleviate. It's sort of like a mind hack. Try to help you get your mind off of something you already know what's going on. So I'm going to leave a link for these little MP3 players. I love these little guys. But you can use any radio. You don't have to buy a thing. But I find them to be. I use them for other things too. So guys, there's a bunch of playlists on my channel. Like I said, if you don't like variety channels, you don't want to subscribe to my channels. But if you like variety, I think you're going to love my channel. So check out the other 1,200 videos I have on many different things, and I put out new stuff every week. And I hope you get to feeling better really soon. And if you have ideas of how things you've done in the past to help you feel better when you were sick in bed, leave them in the comment section and help everybody else out too. We're all in this together. All right, guys, take care and hope you get better real soon.